The trip came about from an opportunity we saw through the Erasmus Plus project, which is funding for vocational students, which our Barking Abbey students fall under due to the ACE qualification that they study. Being able to go to a foreign country throughout Europe and essentially work shadow, get a feeling of what it's like to be a professional, see professionals in their work environment, be able to watch them play, practice, also then get to that cultural experience of being in a foreign country, and just opening their eyes to potential pathways and exit routes that they have as a basketball player, as someone that's been on an ACE apprenticeship and going forward either perhaps after college or instead of college in America, if that's what they wanted to do.
So training 2 times a day, it's a lot harder than most people would think it would be.
The heat was a factor. A lot of the guys to start with were messing around in downtime and stuff, like not resting and stuff, and then when they'd come to training they'd be really fatigued and stuff, and everyone actually started to intake how important rest was.
The Erasmus Plus programme offered us an opportunity to really expose our students to a number of different environments in a different country, with a different cultural aspect to it, and in a professional sports environment, which obviously we would struggle to do within basketball in the UK.
Off court we did quite a few things. We went to the centre of Madrid, we went shopping, and we also visited the palace of King Carlos I. I'm not really into that kind of stuff, but when we went I actually thought it was really cool. We did a tour, we saw the throne room and everything like that, so I thought that was really interesting. It's something different from what I normally do.
I really like going to the palace. I think it's not something I would choose to do, it's something that my parents would say, oh, let's go and see a palace and you've just got to do it. But I actually really enjoyed it.
I think it was just good for the kids to actually to see a different side of the city, and just to learn some new things about maybe a city that most of them have never been to, and a country that most of them have never been to as well.
So watching the Liga Femenina game was really good because Jamila Thompson was playing in it, so it's actually a point that we could all reach because she was at Barking. So that for me was like inspirational.
I liked the intensity of the game that they had, like it was nothing like England.
And then being able to speak to Anna after the game, it was an insight to how professional basketball is.
What Anna said was when she was on about the training that she has to do it twice a day and she has to sort of balance that with everyday life and do all the jobs she has to do as well as play basketball. I think it gave a good aspect to what it would be like if we was doing it professional.
She says she's in school, so she's like balancing school and basketball as well, and obviously we're in college now and it's like my final year, so being able to balance basketball and school and not thinking, oh, it's just because I'm here at Barking Abbey for basketball, I have to be able to become a student athlete effectively, and remember that student comes before athlete as well.
If they fight round and win the thing, she's going to get it. She has it.
so playing Estudiantes, it was a game that we all got bigged up for as the best women's programme in Spain. So we all got the information, so we went in ready to fight. But with Spanish teams, they fight until the last second of the game. They have no time off, they have no rest periods.
That's a good benchmark for us. We're playing against a programme that is a junior programme for an ACB team.
I felt like it's a lot more fast-paced than what it is in England. And everyone has skill levels as well.
I think the first game against Estudiantes especially, we were very nervous. We played very poorly in the first 10 minutes. And then I think they realised that although these teams are very skilled, that we do have, we can play with these teams. Athletically, we're maybe superior in some ways, and I think our players started to realise that we can play with some of the best teams in Europe.
It's a professional programme, junior programme, and for our guys to beat Estudiantes by 2-3 points in a close game, which is ideal for pre-season, perfect. Our girls playing against Estudiantes, who were in the final 4 of the junior championships last year, have 3 current 18 and 16 internationals on the team. And with the limited preparation we had to lead for as long as we did before we had to finish the game without a recognised point guard, so for it to be a 2-3 point game was again perfect in terms of 1, exposure to level of basketball, but 2, preparation. As a player, getting used to playing professionally, doing pre-season, playing games while you're tired, etc, etc.
Going to see the Real Madrid facility was big for me, especially watching their under-14 practice. I mean, we were there for a good hour and they didn't do any team play whatsoever. It was all skill development.
It was unbelievable because when we walked in, I thought that was probably the under-16s or probably even under-18s.
They're working on a bunch of guard drills with big players, so really they got these like 6'7" guys who back in England might be trained as like post players. Over here they're training them as guards. They can do guard drills, they can do guard skills. Speaking
to some of our players, they were saying we wouldn't even do this at under 18, under 20 level. Some of the stuff was so high level. Just to kind of see that and see that you can definitely see at that level it's not about the team side of things as much, it's more about the development of the player for the later years when they get put into the 16s and 18s and hopefully into the men's teams. After that win against the Estudiantes, we carried that kind of confidence over into the Real Madrid game, and we came out and we played with no fear. And I think that speaking to the guys and the coaches after the game, I felt like we could have maybe nipped that game at the end. On the flip side as well, I think that the players looking at the training facility that Real Madrid have, watching the under-14 practice was really beneficial for them to kind of see what kind of the elite in Europe get to do every single day.
They've experienced Madrid, they've experienced Spain, they've experienced some culture, they've experienced the Prada Museum, Retiro Park, the Royal Palaces. Take away all that stuff, which is absolutely really a big plus for them. The program, the basketball program, for 2 weeks, it's enabled us to set the level of our program for this coming year and much higher. We've got a lot of young players. We're very heavily biased to Year 12 students this year. And I think the absolute exposure for them in terms of how to be a professional athlete with no distractions, with no excuses, has been a phenomenal experience for them. The support they've had medically, they're not used to that. The level of coaching, the exposure to games, the facility, that's what they should expect to see in the UK, and I would hope that they will see in the UK in the future, but they've been exposed to something that's been unique for them.
I'm ready to go back home and just work, really.